The Uber Eats driver accused of killing his customer is now in custody. Was it self-defense or cold-blooded murder?
Deputies pick up a guy who's now charged with murdering his girlfriend. So why didn't officials find her body? The answer in the 911 calls.
Looking for solutions. Is it gun legislation, teachers packing heat, or bulletproof classrooms? What will it take to keep our kids safe at school?
We've got a big contingent from Douglasville, Georgia here now at the Winter Games. Alana Myers-Taylor is going to compete in bobsled, and her family is here to cheer her on.
An Uber Eats driver accused of shooting and killing a customer in Buckhead is now behind bars. Tonight, he's being held on murder charges after turning himself into police this afternoon. Natisha Lance spoke with the man's attorney, and Natisha, this story not exactly as cut and dry as we once thought.
That's right, Vinny. The attorney for Robert Bivens says he didn't even know that he had killed somebody until he spoke to the attorney on Sunday trying to hire him for his services. The attorney says that Robert Bivens is just a regular guy who is trying to make a living, and he was in fear for his life when he shot and killed 30-year-old Ryan Thornton. On Sunday afternoon, attorney Jackie Patterson took the call from 36-year-old Robert Bivens asking for help.
He simply said, I need a good lawyer, and would you be willing to represent me?
Saturday night, Bivens shot and killed 30-year-old Ryan Thornton during an Uber Eats delivery. Patterson says his client, who turned himself in to Atlanta police today, had trouble locating the Concord condos on Farr Road. When he arrived to deliver $27 worth of food from Tin Lizzie's Cantina, Thornton was upset.
My client then reached out to wanted to give him his food, and Mr. Thornton jerked it from him and said, F you.
Things became heated as Thornton walked away. Then, according to a police report, Thornton approaches the vehicle again.
Had the food in one hand, went inside of his coat pocket or his jacket pocket, and said, I'm going to F you up, and started coming toward my client's vehicle.
That's when Bivens fired off 4 shots from the passenger side window of his white Volkswagen Beetle, then sped away.
He simply panicked because he didn't know what to do.
Bivens has had run-ins with the law before. In 2009, he was charged with aggravated assault. His attorney says it was a misdemeanor. According to Uber, it is against policy for drivers to have a felony on their record or carry a gun. But Patterson says Bivens only had one choice if he wanted to survive.
This clearly is a case of self-defense.
And Bivens will be in court tomorrow morning for his first appearance. He is charged with 1 count of murder. He was booked into the Atlanta City Jail earlier today, Vinny, and he is expected to come to the Fulton County Jail if he is not already here.
Natisha, that's his version of it, right? His attorney's given us. Is there a videotape of this?
You know what there is. According to the police report, there is surveillance video of this entire exchange, which will be key if this case goes to trial in determining whether or not Bivens acted in self-defense.
All right. Thanks so much, Natisha. Have some breaking news now in DeKalb County. Police are trying to find out who shot and killed a 19-year-old boy. Investigators say the victim was part of a group taking a shortcut through the parking lot of Big Miller Grove Baptist Church when he was shot. That's at Salem Hills Road. Based on some witness descriptions, police are looking for 2 possible shooters. Please check 11alive.com for updates on that one. Sheriff's deputies take away a man acting erratically in a Hall County neighborhood. Then neighbors make a gruesome discovery. His girlfriend stabbed to death in their home. Well, now her boyfriend is accused of murdering her, and Ron Jones has been digging into this story. Ron, why didn't the police officers discover the woman's body?
Well, this is what we know. Officers did not realize that she was actually in the house, so we got a copy of the 911 calls and discovered the first call had nothing to do with murder.
6 o'clock Sunday evening, 49-year-old Wendell Gregory Armour was pacing through the neighborhood, despondent, confused, and hearing voices. His nephew calls 911.
But I need an ambulance sent out here right away.
Sir, stay on the line with me. I'm getting help out there, too.
He's hearing voices and stuff, and he's scared or something, and I'm scared of him. I don't know what's going on with him.
As officers race to the scene, they apparently have no idea that Armour's girlfriend, 42-year-old Jody Lane Gorell, is either dying or dead in her home nearby. The dispatcher asks the nephew if Armour has any weapons.
No, he doesn't have no weapons or nothing like that. He's just found something's bothering him. He's having a nervous breakdown and he needs help.
Deputies arrive and take Armour away for psychiatric evaluation. And then about 40 minutes later, dispatch gets another call, this time from someone else. An unidentified neighbor checks on Armour's girlfriend and makes a gruesome discovery.
The murder's just been committed. I just found my neighbor laying dead in the floor.
The neighbor tells the dispatcher Gorell has been stabbed multiple times.
Yeah, she's stabbed to death. I'm an EMT. She's for sure dead. And we just run down here, and here she is laying in the floor dead.
Armour is later booked into the Hall County Jail on murder charges.
So, as far as the investigation, no word on a motivation for the alleged murder. Armour is now in the Hall County Jail being held without bail. Vinny?
All right, thanks so much, Ron. Tonight, thousands of candles all across Florida glowing in honor of the 17 people killed in the Parkland school shooting. The PTA organized a statewide vigil giving children and parents a way to express their grief over this tragedy. And today, families said goodbye to 2 more young people killed at Stoneman Douglas High School. 15-year-old Luke Hoyer, known to his family as Lukey Bear, was remembered for his warm and welcoming spirit. And 14-year-old Elena Petty was involved in the school's junior ROTC program. She also frequently volunteered with her church. It was really a powerful moment in Washington, D.C. today as children staged a protest demanding action on gun control in the wake of this Florida massacre. The calls for change and young voices are echoing now across our nation, and social media taking notice.
How many school shootings are we going to have before something happens? Nobody should be bringing guns in school.
No one needs a assault rifle like this. Children's lives are more important.
Prayers and condolences won't fix this one.
You shouldn't be scared to go to school.
We need to make a change. Politicians aren't going to talk about it. Nobody is going to actually do anything. Us as students need to really make a difference.
And with the renewed call for changes in gun laws, we want to know what you think. Would you support stronger background checks for gun buyers? We have a poll up right now. You can see it there. Just grab your phone, go to 11alive.com right now. It's 11alive.com/vote. That's what you got to go to weigh in tonight.
I will not feel safe going back to school myself until reasonable mental health care legislation and gun control legislation is passed. Because at this point, it's unacceptable.
Well, tonight, the White House is acknowledging some of those demands. President Trump supporting the idea of improving the federal background check system for gun purchases. This is according to a statement released by the White House. They're talking about the Fix NICS Act, a bill designed to make the background check system for gun buyers more efficient without expanding its reach. Here's how it works. The bill rewards states that upload criminal and mental health records into the federal database. That information would be used to flag unfit purchasers trying to buy a weapon. Here's the problem. The federal government can't force states to comply. So instead, they'd offer grants for states that do. The bill also includes certain financial accountability measures for agencies who fail to report data. Now, this new bill is only a small update to existing gun laws, but it has a much better chance to pass through Congress than any other recent proposal. But here's the catch. Even if this law was in effect last week, it would not have stopped the Florida school shooting. So we asked you, would you support stronger background checks for gun buyers? Right now, 90% of you are saying, 94% of you are saying yes, 6% saying no. You continue to vote throughout the night, folks. Post a story online about trying to keep our kids safe from a school shooting, and you get the same arguments. Arm the teachers, ban the guns, mental health databases. You know, today we posted a story about paying more for bulletproof classrooms, and we got the same arguments all played out on social media. That's because we've been here before. We've had these arguments, and nothing has changed because no one will change. We're all dug into our positions and won't budge. And we treat these like they're either-or arguments. But they're not mutually exclusive. Each side can get something if they're willing to give something up. But first, we need a real conversation. A conversation where one side will have to concede that maybe there should be armed personnel on a school campus. And the other side will have to concede that maybe there's no need for high-capacity magazines. And maybe some folks will have to give up some privacy for a more effective national database of people who should not be allowed to legally own a gun. Now, to get this conversation going, we're going to have to meet on some common ground, which is the belief we all share that this should never happen again. He served our country, and now the government is supposed to help serve him. But a little-known law left this Georgia veteran thousands of dollars in debt.